The attention seeker Sadiq Khan is to continue with New Year's Eve restrictions in London, despite the fact that the Prime Minister has already given green light for normal life to continue for now. Hello everybody, welcome to the first show of the day. The Prime Minister has already said England will have no restrictions. We're not giving green lights for post-Christmas, pre-New Year to continue as it is. Sadiq Khan doesn't listen. We know that, by the way, that Prime Minister has already said that there is a potential, possibility that will happen after New Year's Eve, that we might have rule of six in the UK, in England and the rest of the place as well. But for now, he has said, just have fun. New Year's Eve is going to happen. Also, thank you, Prime Minister. Thank you for the government for actually giving us the freedoms that we should already have. But we now know that Sadiq Khan is going to continue with cancelling New Year's Eve and not allowing actually any kind of big crowd celebrations in central London that was going to be happening anyway. Do you know why? Because no one's been paying attention to him. That's the thing. I mean, he's already been releasing all these statements about Trafalgar Square, about, of course, London Eye, those areas that were supposed to be, full of parties and social gatherings, outdoor ventilation. But no, because he wants to be seen as this leader who's tackling this crisis even better than Boris Johnson. Does it remind you of somebody else? Two people, Mark Drakeford and Nicola Sturgeon, who are not listening to science or data. They're actually saying, well, we don't care, let's just see what Boris is doing. In Downing Street, well, if he says that England is fine, let's just add more restrictions so that we come across as the people who care, the politicians who actually care about these measures. This is bad. Now, there's a lot of other theories around the New Year's Eve cancellation in London. Now, part of it is the cost to the taxpayer, which is not really something Sadiq Khan cares about in terms of the taxpayer aspects of it, but he does care about the budget because he's been overspending again. So we know that the Transport for London is going bankrupt thanks to the Mayor of London. We know that there are crisis talks happening when it comes to transport links and networks in general around Greater London because he has overspent the budget. Do you know what he's done? We have talked about it many times on this channel. Well, he broke the £1 million a year barrier in terms of spending to create his public relations team. So there's a lot of press team, there's a lot of PR officers and media advisors who are just walking around City Hall, and I'm not really sure what they're doing because the PR that Sadiq Khan is getting is not the best, but he's got a big team, he's been spending a lot of money on it, and he wonders why there's not money left to do a bit of fireworks or to allow people to just at least gather and send the police, because again, part of the cost of New Year's Eve is also the policing. He has to obviously use the London Met to go around and monitor. The thing is, he doesn't really want them to do anything because if he cared, then East London and South East London would not have all these issues with knife crime. But clearly, the police are too busy checking our social media comments. That's what Sadiq Khan cares about. That's the problem with London Met. There's going to be more inquiries in the new year when it comes to the behaviour of London Met anyway. So hopefully, some of that will happen. But for now, let's focus on the fact that if you're watching it from different parts of the UK, that's not England, then just try and enjoy it somehow, because of course they're not going to be able to go after everybody else. In England, don't listen to Sadiq Khan, especially if you're in London. Just enjoy your New Year's Eve and wait for the next measures to actually come up. Thanks again for watching. We're going to have more updates for you guys throughout the day. I'm Tousi and we are the media.